going on, guys, and welcome to another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video. Okay, I'm going to do the top 10 Zetas as of April 3rd, 2018. Still getting used to saying that number. Also, I'd like to start off by saying that the developers have been doing a great job reaching out to the audience and, you know, working with us and communicating with us better, and they're going to get more players because of it. And, you know, they gave us 1,000 crystals yesterday. I mean, come on, that's fantastic. So, I'm looking forward to the solo movie coming out soon because Greedo is the April login reward. So are they going to get a rework? Are they going to be viable in the Sith raid? Which I'm still, okay, oh my gosh. I thought I was going to be ready, you know, with my guild to do like the tier 7 Sith raid. And let me tell you, we're struggling with like tier 5. We finish it, but it takes like 3 days. And sometimes our participation goes down a little bit because we're just like, oh my gosh, let's just get this done with. But so I don't bore you guys, we're going to get started. Now, I want to mention how I do my top 10 Zetas. I have them, I don't have them in any particular order. I don't say one is necessarily better than the other because it all depends on where you're at in the game. Like, I'm going to say Finn is one of them still. He's in the top 10. If you're working on Resistance early, you'd probably want to do his Zeta first if it's more helpful to you. And the Zetas that I choose to do aren't necessarily the best for arena, the best for territory battles. There's a, you know, when like college professors grade a test, they say I'm going to take 30% from the grammar, I'm going to take 70% from the information and documentation. That's kind of what I'm doing. I'm throwing it all into a group and telling you what I think are the best Zetas of the game. So we are going to start with Jedi Training Rey. And yes, a lot of people like all three of her abilities. Zeta, she has three to be available, but the most important to me is the leadership ability, Inspirational Presence. When Resistance ally uses a special ability, all exposed enemies lose 5% turn meter, which can't be evaded or resisted. When Resistance ally uses a special ability, if they aren't debuffed, reduce their cooldowns by 1. You probably already know that, but I'm just saying that that is definitely a Zeta needed if you're going to run Jedi Training Rey in the arena, and she is still capable of getting first easily. So to get there, you're going to need that Zeta, and awesome for the Sith raid. For the Sith raid, that's almost a must if you want to be able to compete in your guild at tier 7 or any tier to get first place. So, next, the Old Faithful Commander Luke Skywalker. And the only necessary one for you guys, especially as beginners, or those that just got him, or those that are using him into arena and to help out in other ways of the game, is it binds all things. Because it's a miniature leadership ability in one of his uniques. Whenever Luke resists a detrimental effect, he recovers 5% protection, and whenever Luke inflicts a debuff, he gains 10% turn meter, and other allies gain half that amount. So, we're working on turn meter gain, protection recovery, stuff like that. Next, we have Emperor Palpatine Leadership. Man, when this first came out, I didn't know how it was going to be, but I do run my Sith team in the top of arena. Many of you have seen those videos. If you haven't, check them out, please. I do have both Zeta. I do not put his Crackling Doom in the top 10 because I don't find it actually benefits me enough to get where it needs to go. But his leadership ability states this: Empire and Sith allies have plus 35% potency and 35% max health. Jedi and Rebel enemies have minus 35% potency and minus 35% evasion. When an Empire ally inflicts a debuff during their turn, they gain 20% turn meter. When a Sith ally inflicts a debuff during their turn, they recover 20% health. When a debuff on an enemy expires, Empire and Sith allies gain 5% turn meter. So, you put Vader in the group, you use his Force Crush, it gives debuffs to the entire team, you use his Culling Blade on one of them, it gives a lot of people a bunch of turn meter, so you're already working off ahead of the game, starting with that. If you're facing a Kenobi or a Rex team and they cleanse, after you get the debuffs up, you're getting a lot of turn meter right away. I also find it works really well with Tarkin. So, that is number 3. Next, oh man, the Old Faithful. Still great in arena, great in all the raids, great in so many different things as well. Raid Han. This is a no-brainer if you have him, even if he's at 5 stars. You want to go to shoots first, because Han has a plus 35% counter chance and plus 20% critical chance. The first time each turn Han uses his basic attack, he attacks again, dealing 50% less damage. But he's let me get this straight. He's attacking twice. Many of you know this, but for those of you that don't, I mean, he's attacking twice, and even though that 50%, you know, is 50% less damage than the first time, that's doing a lot of damage. He is man, you know what? He is one of the best damage dealers in the game. He does huge damage, and for all aspects of the game, please Zeta this ability. You will not be disappointed. It is definitely not a waste. Now, the next two I have are from the same character, R2-D2. He is still viable. I don't use him right now anymore because I have a dark side team, but let me tell you, when light side teams come back around, and they still are with Rey getting first, you're going to be using him a lot. So his first one is combat analysis. I'm just going to read the Zeta part. While R2-D2 is active, whenever a light side ally scores a critical hit, dispel all debuffs on them. I'm going to pause for you to get that through your head. You don't necessarily have to have a cleanser, and a lot don't in their team anymore, especially in the top of the arena. All those debuffs you get, gone if they critical hit, especially if you put somebody in a leadership ability that gives you bonus critical chance. This is incredible. It's awesome. And then we're going to look at number crunch. This is the one I would Zeta first still if you are getting R2. At the start of battle and when R2-D2 is revived, other Droid, Galactic, Republic, Rebel, and Resistance allies gain 10% of R2-D2's max protection, offense, max health, and potency until R2-D2 is defeated. You're giving a bunch of R2 stats to the other people. It really boosts your team. Great Zeta. Definitely go for it. Next, BB-8. Specifically for the Sith raid and for using him in the arena, his role with the punches is very, very important. BB-8 has a plus 80% counter chance. When BB-8 attacks out of turn, he calls a random resistance ally to assist. So you use Rey's secondary ability. She calls BB-8. Maybe he'll call an R2, which happens a lot. You'll get a stun. Maybe he calls in, Scavenger Rey, does a lot of damage, or Jedi Training Rey again. Also, a little hint that I have found a team I really like to use, I might make a video on it in the Sith raid, is using Ezra in that 5th spot, because he has that ability that you can use that he'll grant another ally to attack, and when he calls in BB-8, you get Ezra to potentially attack twice, lots of damage, BB-8, and then somebody else to attack too. I'm telling you, it's something that needs to be thought of and used. I enjoy it a lot. It's a great Zeta. Go for it. Next, the Old Faithful. As I said earlier, we're going to go back to Finn. And why? Because Finn is excellent the whole game route. I don't have him Zeta because I just didn't, choose to have him Zeta, but I have a lot of teammates in my guild that use him. I know there's a lot of other stuff on the internet that uses him. I watch a lot of people use him. Especially in territory wars, or battles, excuse me. You can have a resistance team at gear level 8, and they're able to clear a whole territory war because of this territory battle, because of this Zeta ability. And it says that whenever a resistance ally loses foresight, they gain advantage for 2 turns, and whenever an enemy takes damage from expose, reduce the cooldowns of all resistance allies by 1 and grant them 35% turn meter. So you put him in a team with Poe. He keeps granting expose. You keep damaging them from expose. You reduce the cooldowns of Poe, and you just keep spamming this thing. The other team doesn't even have a chance to an attack. Awesome ability. For the whole game in general, it's one of the best Zetas to still get to this day. Now, these last few are where people still have kind of a disagreement with me, but I'll kind of share with you why I choose this. First, I'm going to go to Qui-Gon Jinn, and let me explain why. If you're a beginning player in the game and you like light side characters in Jedi, this would be the first person I would potentially suggest to give the Zeta to, and it's to his leadership ability, agility, training. Jedi allies have plus 30 speed, gain offense equal to 3 times their speed. Okay, so we already got 30 speed to the Jedi. Speed is fantastic, okay? Now we're gaining offense equal to 3 times their speed. Okay, that's unbelievable. That's a lot of offense. And gain foresight for 2 turns at the start of each encounter whenever an enemy is defeated. So, beginning of the counter, if you're using Jedis, they gain foresight. They can't be hit the first time around. Okay, then when another unit is defeated, they gain foresight again. This is an underrated Zeta ability still used in the game, and I'm going to tell you, Jedi are going to get a rework. They have to. I know the developers know that we think that they could be better in the game. There's a lot of people that have talked about it, and I think there'll probably be more Zetas to come with the Jedi, but I still think this might be viable. And to work through your regular energy missions, or as I like to call them, the campaign missions, having this Zeta ability is going to help you be able to get to the end so much faster. Great ability. And last but not least, we have Barris Offee. Now, she kind of fell out of use when Jedi Training Rey came into the fray, and her heal block that couldn't be cleansed really, you know, kind of took over this, but it's her swift recovery. And it states, whenever an ally is critically hit, they recover 20% of their max health. And there's a lot of critical hits going on. With Jedi training Rey, when she can give that, I'll go read that ability right now, because this is kind of what, you know, could be bane of her existence, and that's the Defiant Slash. Deal physical damage to target enemy and inflict healing immunity for 2 turns. This effect can't be copied, dispelled, or resisted. Okay, so you can use this, and it wipes away the use of that ability, so you can use it on her. Usually, she's still run with the General Kenobi lead, but for the overall aspects of the game, she's still a great character. Now, I have a few honorable mentions, and specifically because I didn't have enough to get to the top 15 Zeta characters of the game, but I had about, you know, like 12 or 13. And the other reason I put these guys, you know, I look like Donald Trump, and, you know, the other reason that I put these guys in the game is because they're harder to get. They're least accessible right now. Excuse me. And the first one I'm going to show is Sion. Now, I love this. And the Lord of Pain is the Zeta ability. And it says at the end of each turn, Sion inflicts pain for 3 turns on enemies who damaged him that turn. Now remember, when we're working with pain, the more pain that the enemies have, the quicker he can get to Held by Hatred, which allows him to gain 100% offense and 100% turn meter and 100% health. Not 100% offense, excuse me. But what I'm saying is, when he has Held by Hatred, he does plus 25% critical chance, plus 100% defense, and plus 100% offense. Then, when this unit is defeated, they revive with 100% health and gain 100% turn meter. Now, exactly, so when you keep using this over and over, but to be able to use it, the other team has to have pain to decrease this cooldown. And having the Lord of Pain Zeta really helps that move along. I find him very useful in the top of Arena. I can't imagine what he's going to be like when Darth Vader comes out. I'm so excited. Oh, well, Darth Vader is out. Are there any guilds out there that have unlocked her yet? Please, you know, tell me. Seriously, I want to know. Put it in the comments below. Because our guild's pretty strong and we haven't gotten there. Now, the next one. Imperial Probe Droid. Oh, I wish I had this character unlocked. I wish I would have bought the $10 pack back when he was out first, but I have gotten all my Imperial troopers up to 7-star, or most of them anyway. Like, I think the only one I haven't is Stark, to be able to get him in the dark side territory battles. But his detect, or excuse me, it's not detect. It's Imperial Logistics. While Imperial Probe Droid is active, target locked enemies can't gain buffs. You can completely shut down a lot of teams with this. First of all, the detect can completely, can completely take away the buffs, dispel all the buffs in the other team. Gone. With a 15% chance to inflict target lock for 2 turns and remove 1% turn meter from target locked enemies, this attack can't be evaded. So if they have target lock, then they can't gain buffs as well. Imagine putting this on a Jedi Training Rey team, and BB-8 is about to use his Illuminated Destiny. Doesn't work. Target locked, wiped it out completely. I mean, think of that. That is why he's definitely up there, but I realize not a lot of people have him, but he's still a great character. And this one is specifically if you use a First Order team. And I find this important because this is a great leadership ability. I think it's better than Captain Phasma, in my opinion, and that's not just ending. This is the Kylo Ren Unmasked, and his leadership ability is what I would look at. It states that when it's Zetaed, First Order allies have plus 40% critical damage and plus 30 speed. Okay, first of all, plus 40% critical damage. I mean, you have people, 216 is what you can get to with the correct mods at the max critical damage. Plus 40, that's 256, if my math is correct, I think it is. And then plus 30 speed. When a First Order ally scores a critical hit, they gain 20% turn meter, so we're going to keep boosting that speed and turn meter. When a First Order ally gains a status effect, they recover 5% health and 5% protection. This is an awesome leadership ability. I think I'm going to Zeta it. I think so, because it's going to be helpful in all aspects of the game. One, also, I like his ship, and 2, in raids, this is going to be useful. I think the Sith raid is going to have a place, maybe in Phase 2. I have to do some more research on that, but that would be one of the other, guys, I would Zeta. So that's 13 characters of the, the top 10 were the originals that I said. Now, somebody could put a gun to my head and I would say, oh, these are the guys, in my opinion. YouTube, don't do. Oh, wait, I don't have 1,000 subscribers, so I can't be demonetized yet. But I'm just saying, some people may disagree. Some may agree. This is just my opinion, what can help you best throughout the game. in all aspects of the game, not just necessarily squad, not just necessarily territory battles, not just necessarily territory wars. You get the picture. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I can't wait. I think there's going to be some new characters released soon. I'm looking forward to that. March was a really slow month. I'm also eager to see if we're going to get some new capital ships released. I've heard rumors. I mean, the Ravager, Darth Nihilus. Maybe we can have Grievous's Invisible Hand, Newt Gunray's Trade Federation ship. You know, there are a lot of more capital ships, and I think that's going to really change the game too, because the Chimera is awesome, and so is Tarkin, but I would like some more viability. Maybe we're going to get Kylo Ren Unmasked. Well, we have his... I'm guessing we would get General Hux and get his Star Destroyer, but that's all, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please smack that subscribe button, share it, like it, spread it. May the Force be with you, and peace out.